Hey, what's up? Robotech. I'm a huge Robotech fan. It's probably one of the biggest influences on me in geeky stuff, but not just geeky stuff. The whole idea of war, of the future, metaphors for the future, the whole concept of a homogeneous country producing probably more genuine-hearted, progressive, and traditionalist stories that apparently the world I'm from cannot seem to do anymore. And I remember I had done the that a video on this writer writing about Robotech, how it was diverse, ahead of its time in diversity. So I had gone through it, but I'm not going to be so critical. I mean, I just gave little opinions. I'm a big fan of this Robotech, and then somebody trying to bring it up, and as you can see, this is literally a year ago. This was written. So I just thought I'd go through it as a fan. Of course, you have awesome Mospita, which is probably my favorite part of Robotech, if you're familiar with the genesis of it. But let's just go through here. So, it talks about the 80s cartoons. Okay. Have you tried to watch any of those classic 80s shows recently? I'm not making fun of the guy. I'm just going to say where I disagree with them. They're nostalgic and fun, but they hold up to scrutiny. Um, on a whole, they're kind of dumpster fire. The 80s stuff is a lot of fun. Whatever it lacks in sophistication, it makes up in fun. But dumpster fire, I wouldn't go that far. Um, Dumpster fire. Funny side note, where I grew up, I had done a video of where I grew up in Brooklyn, and they would set the dumpsters in the back on fire all the time. And I remember watching from my back window of my garden apartment and going, "Oh, look, they set it on fire again." And let's wait, wait, wait. And then the fire truck would come, and I would just watch these dudes put it out. That must have happened at least like 24 times in my childhood. But anyway, Robotech was different. Yes, it was. Listen, Robotech, when I had watched this, it was hard to get my head around the drama. I mean, if you had seen Voltron, which obviously by that time I had already known that okay, these cartoons are coming from Japan. I had realized that these cartoons are from Japan, even by the middle '80s. But Robotech was so far ahead in terms of science fiction, drama, concepts, realism, the characters dying, humans getting their asses kicked more often than not in combat with aliens, and humans turning on each other was a constant theme. Anyway, so we'll go through here. And Robotech was different, pioneer sophisticated storytelling for kids. Meanwhile, there was a ton of Japanese shows like this, but this is the one that was brought to America. Okay, it was solidified the anime fan base. Dude, Robotech literally, you can say Star Blazers too, but Robotech was the series that really laid the foundation for Americans to look into anime, Japanimation as they used to call it, which I still like that old term. And so here we go. It's not without its problems. The Maximilia courtship, am I right? No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Okay? And of course, my whole issue with the Robotech comic that had been made by Titan Comics, which was salvaged, which was wrecked by Brian Wood, salvaged by Simon Furman, and then continued with Robotech Remix by Brendan Fletcher, which now it's all in limbo because the comic industry's pretty much been destroyed by some other semi-apocalyptic global situation. But anyway, the problem with the Maximilia courtship, there's no problem there. It's great. It's traditional. Okay. Of course. Anyway, I won't get into that. We all know what that is. Maria was an amazing warrior, defeated by a man, and then she fell in love with him, and that's the problematic thing for some reason. But these are all young men writing now. Okay, yeah, combination of different anime series. Okay, so he gives some episodes of Robotech, and it's not actually the article for the most part is pretty decent. I sort of agree with him. Let's see, who's that guy back there? All right. Uh, the long wait. I remember this. The one where they're just Rick and Min May trapped in the SDF one. You know, glimpses of Min May's immaturity. Min May is literally a teenager. You know, Rick is like an older teenager. It's a full-on soap opera for a show that could have been just seen as just for boys. Okay, all right. And there's Lisa and Captain Global. Okay, Homecoming. This is pretty good too. This is still the Macross saga. Remember, you have Macross, you have Masters, and you have New Generation. So this is Macross. And you have political machinations. Now this was actually something done earlier in Gundam and in another anime called Space Runaway Ideon, but was done in Macross as well, which is actually probably really, it was really kind of one of those things like, damn. As a kid, I remember thinking that, wow, that's really screwed up. The whole idea of Macross, of course, is this alien spaceship does a dimensional warp drive out of Earth to escape the alien attack. And then they get chased by the aliens trying to get back to Earth. And when they finally get back to Earth, after a lot of struggle, a lot of casualties, and a lot of really close calls, the Earth government basically tells them to get the hell out of, get away from Earth and draw the aliens away from Earth. And all the people on the ship, you have to keep them on the ship. They're not allowed to go back. We said they all died in an attack, and just get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. Right. Their own people that betrayed them. Okay. That was the common thing that I liked in Robotech, which is, of course, all these different series, was it wasn't so clear cut, and more often than not, your other humans were as much an enemy to you as these aliens. And many of these aliens, whatever you want to think, they were very honorable, and they were all pretty much warrior cultures. Okay. We go down here. Farewell, Big Brother. What can I say? This is the episode where Roy Fokker dies. I won't spoil it, but yeah, I spoiled it. Come on, bro. Yeah, Roy Fokker dies at the end, and it was very unexpected. Okay, and then the next episode, another character dies, which was like, it was almost too much. It was almost too much. Look, Min May. I remember my girlfriend. She hated Min May. And for some reason, when I was little, I thought Min May was just some strange name. I did not put two and two together, even when she was dressed in the traditional garb, that Min May is supposed to be Chinese. And my girlfriend, my fiance, she hated Min May. And although, to be fair, looking at Min May's face, I couldn't imagine why I didn't think she was Chinese. So, of course, anime has the Disney influence of the large, expressive eyes. A lot of people hate Min May, like I had mentioned, but I always thought she was really cute. You know, I mean, I don't even want to say how old she's supposed to be because it's kind of creepy in some ways. But Min May was cute, and of course, the idea that this pop singer has the power to fight vast alien hordes is very interesting. It's very Japanese. Okay, Force of Arms. This was the first episode I saw of Robotech when it was on in '85. Holy crap! This was This is basically the aliens, the Zentradi. They pretty much destroy the Earth and kill about 90% of the human population. And the way the humans defeat them is interesting too. You know, Min May singing pretty much, but most of Earth is wiped out. You see, of course, the infamous scene where the little girl is talking to the soldier, and then you just see the whole city annihilated, and you see the soldier in a last futile act of protection, of masculine protection. You know, but a woman, a woman would have probably done the same. Covers the little girl with his body to protect her in vain, as they're both vaporized. Something that the Japanese have a way of really showing for some reason. I wonder. That's something a leftist would say. Anyway, fuck out of here. Sorry, I'm a little annoyed by certain things going on. And this was cool too. The whole idea of Macross, which was Part of the problem was they decided they were supposed to end with that episode I mentioned, but they were so popular they decided to continue it with a post-apocalyptic Earth, and these are the Zentradi. They're basically giant humans. They're literally, the whole idea of Macross was that these humans, the protoculture was an ancient race. The Zentradi, they all came from the same source. That's why they're pretty much identical to humans, except they were giant. And the struggle of them to fit into human society, and some of them become renegades and decide to fight the humans again. That was actually kind of cool. All right, so let me go to the Robotech Masters. You know what? I'm gonna break this up because I want to go through the different series. And for the most part, like I said, I'm not jumping on this guy. I didn't agree with his thing about diversity, and the whole Maximilia thing is problematic. No, it's not. But it's not. I don't want to jump on the guy. He actually does a really good job for the most part, going over Robotech, because pretty much everything he mentions really is what struck me about the show, and I could probably add a few more. So that's pretty much from the first part, the Macross saga. And yes, I know, Macross fans, I know you hate Robotech. I know, don't mention, I know. Macross is great by itself, but I like Robotech too. It's how I saw this stuff as a kid back in the 80s. I thought we'd be in space by now. All right, that old gag. Let's get to the second part later.